Kurt Helin at NBCSports.com, he wrote, "This is why nobody wants to face Miami in the first round," and it's based off last night's game. Here's what he writes, Solana. "Playoff Jimmy Butler is a real thing. For that matter, playoff Miami Heat is a thing. This is a team better built for the physical grind of a playoff series than the regular season. All of that was on display Thursday night when the focused Heat took charge early behind 24 points from Jimmy Butler and blew out the 76ers. The reality is this was a game where the Heat had something to play for, and the 76ers, locked into the number 3 seed, no matter what they do over the season's final games, did not, and it showed. It was a listless Philadelphia effort, and don't be shocked if their stars sit the last couple of games of the regular season. Miami still has something to play for, an outside shot at the number 6 seed. Miami remains one game back of the Nets, who sit at the 6th seed, but Brooklyn has the tiebreaker, so their magic number is just 1. Miami has to win out tonight at Washington, Sunday hosting Orlando, which is very possible. However, Brooklyn would need to lose its last 2 against Orlando tonight, then Sunday against the same 76ers, and that's less likely. This win ensured the Heat will at least be the number 7 seed and host the first play-in game Tuesday. And currently, that would be against the Atlanta Hawks, which no Heat fan is scared of at all. I'm editorializing there. That's not what Kurt Helin wrote. I'm just throwing that in there.
And you're right, by the way.
Miami hasn't been consistent this season, but their highs show why Philadelphia and Boston want to avoid them. As noted above, playoff Jimmy Butler is a thing. An all-NBA player this season, almost certainly, who can raise his game in the physical play of the postseason. They have an elite and versatile defensive big in Bam Adebayo. Tyler Hero can get hot. He had 24 points against Philly attacking their defense since the 76ers didn't blitz them as they have in the past. Eric Spoelstra is as good a tactician as there is in the league. Miami came within a missed three-pointer of making the finals last season. And while they haven't been nearly as consistent this year, they are dangerous and a first-round opponent that can push the best teams in the East, such as Boston or Philadelphia. Just ask the 76ers. They saw those Heat on Thursday night. That's a real thing through the league. Now, you could watch the Heat all season and say, nah, you're just rehashing a narrative that's been there. I'm telling you, what Kurt Helin is writing there is a thing throughout the league. Nobody wants to play the Heat.
Here's the thing, though. I feel the same way. Nobody wants to play Jimmy Butler in the first round. I believe that. The Bucks don't want to play Jimmy Butler in the first round, and they're easily...
I'd put the Heat at an 8-point favorite over the Hawks, by the way, in a play-in game in Miami. 8-point favorite.
Yeah, probably. Trae Young?
I mean, you saw what they did to him last year in the first round.
Yeah. Anybody, man. Yeah. Here's the thing, though, Hawk. That sounds good right now, coming off a 28-point win or whatever it was last night, right? It sounds good when you're shooting the way you're shooting. All season long, I've been saying that, where they'll turn it on when they need to turn it on. They were incapable of doing it consistently. That's what scares me, where they've shown flashes, and I read you those numbers earlier today, where the Heat, in the 16 games since the All-Star break, including last night, they went from hitting 35% of their open three-pointers, which was a huge issue, to now 45% in those 16 games. The problem is, can they do it consistently over a 7-game series against one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference? I don't know. I want to be optimistic. You know I'm a cocky Heat fan. I don't know.
Yeah, obviously it remains to be seen, but I will tell you, you feel like through a season there are times where a team like this is going to put it together because they're not a bad team. They're a team that has played under the level of what you expected all season long. Now, again, do I think they're as good as Boston or Milwaukee? I don't, but I do believe the Heat have underperformed this season. If they do get it together, if last night was kind of an indication of what you're going to see during the playoffs, then look out. Again, I understand what you're saying. Philadelphia didn't have anything to play for last night. They throttled it back. He even writes Kurt Helin there. They're not blitzing Tyler Hero. That'll change in the playoffs. So the shooting that you see last night, it's going to be more contested. So you're going to see a difference. Now, if they can still bang down threes, they can hang with anybody. The question is, can they do that when the defensive adjustments are made for the playoffs?
That's been the key factor all season long, not to oversimplify it, but they weren't knocking down their open three-pointers, and now it seems like they're making them more efficiently, which is why the offense looks a hell of a lot better. And, their defensive numbers, Hawk, haven't looked good, but nobody's worried about the Heat's defensive effort in the playoffs.
That's the thought. Is like the playoffs roll around. You know what the Heat's identity is.
Yeah.
Bam Adebayo is still out there. Jimmy Butler, his defense come playoff time, like, man, I again, would I like to see more Duncan Robinson? Sure. Do I think we need to see him during the playoffs? Yes, I do.
It's still going in that direction, huh?
And do I think we'll see him tonight? I do.
Give me more UD. That's what I want. Start UD tonight. Start him on Sunday. Let's go.